Welcome back to Bringing History to Life. Well, this week, in addition to VE75, the Victory in Europe Day last week, coming up we have International Museum Day. Now, I know, for unless you're a historian, it's kind of hard to get excited about a holiday called International Museum Day. But I grew up in museums. When I was a kid, I made my parents stop at every little Quonset hut that had a steel plow in front of it because I was interested in history and what it meant to us as Canadians and what it meant to us as citizens of the world. So use the time that's coming up to revisit that favorite museum you might have, and I'll share mine in a moment, or to go and find another museum that you haven't explored yet. There's literally hundreds of them around us. Little museums to large, community to state and provincial-wide museums. But one of my favorites is the Military Museum in Calgary. The Military Museum in Calgary is an actual working military base. And at one time, when there was a large military base in Calgary, the building that the museum is now housed in was the high school. Well, when the base moved to Edmonton in northern Alberta, it was time to do something with that building, and a vision sprung up to build a museum to recognize the regiments that had served in Alberta, that had served Alberta well, and to preserve their history. And so at first it was called the Museum of the Regiments. But then opportunities arose to expand the museum, to make it larger, and to add more than just Army units. And soon an entire gallery housed the Naval Museum of Alberta, and then the Aviation Museum, and it grew and grew and grew to today it is one of the most extraordinary museums you'll ever visit. Rather than things locked behind glass cases and things stuck in boxes, everything is out on display to be seen and to experience. And I think one of my favorite rooms in the whole museum is to go through the World War I room at the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry Museum and see what a trench looked like in World War I. Now, if you've been following along, you know I have a real passion for World War I, and that museum brings it alive for me. So, if you're ever in Calgary, Alberta, and you have a few minutes, please stop by the military museums. That few minutes will probably turn into an all-day adventure. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon.